Hello everyone, welcome back to Mad Games Tycoon 2. Well, this is going to be a part 2 of the tutorial of Mad Games Tycoon 2. As you may know, the game was fully released on the 31st of May, which, you know, means that it's now out of early access completely. And so I decided to come back to it because I have liked actually the patch notes that have came out recently. There have been a lot of bugs that have been fixed and a few new things as well when it comes to console development and everything. But today we won't talk about console development or anything like that. We will talk about how to really be okay on your first year. The first year isn't the most important in the game. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The first year is important, but not like it's not 1980. Well, actually, the most important year, in my opinion, is 1979. This is the year where B+ games are released, but we will talk about that later. So, when you start the game and you have set up your rooms like this, I already did talk about that last episode, but yes, you are searching for at least one researcher to put in your room, get that gameplay feature going for the arcade joystick support. There you go. Just keep going on with a contract game first. Always try and get a contract game first. However, just to say, I actually went to hard difficulty because I find... Well, yeah, I do find that normal mode is a bit too easy, and it's a bit too... Yeah, it's a bit too easy to get everything going quickly. Now, let's move on. Get the arcade joystick support going, as I said. Try and get maybe... Well, I mean, that game designer is okay. It's not too bad. It has 3 perks, but they're not, like, good perks or anything. Yeah, Medical Miracle, these are not, like, the important ones that you want. Efficient is one of the important ones, but unfortunately, I will not take either of these guys. I will do that commission work that we have here. As you can see, it gives $43,000, which is very good. 43,000 when you have 150 at the beginning when you set up all your rooms. By the way, I did an auto... yeah, all of these were made automatically, the rooms here. I didn't want to do anything about that. But yeah, see, this one is one of the important ones. You want talented on your... on the guys that you're getting. Talented makes your employees faster to learn, and it is a massive improvement on that speed. However, for that to work, you do need a training room, which you research here in Miscellaneous, and it's $200,000 plus 400 research points, which, you know, does take a bit of time to research. It won't be one of the first things that you get, but it is something that is very important for later on down the line. And this is the thing you want to avoid. Untalented. That is one thing that you always want to avoid. There we go. This guy has nothing, but he is greedy, which means that he wants double salary demands. Not great, but to be honest, you don't really need to care about that at that point in the game. Money isn't that much of an issue in hard or anything like that. At one point, I will do a full setup to show you about legendary games, and this is when this becomes very important. Very hard is already better, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. You can still make it work without caring too much about those kind of things. About money. But in legendary, you always have to care about money first. Now, as you can see, we have a few games that we can make here. We have one here that requires a 20% minimum rating and does give about $50,000 for a fully completed game. It is a puzzle game, and it's a B in size, of course, because we don't have another size. Now, it doesn't matter too much about the topic here. We have fantasy, which is quite good. But it doesn't matter too much, because 20% is pretty easy to get. For saving a bit of money, you can disable the languages and getting just the language of your country. Most of them is going to be English or, yeah, something like that. Because the rest, well, you have a lot of countries that I think have in base English. Some have in base French, probably. But yeah, most of them are going to be in English. Or Spanish, probably. There's no Portuguese, so yeah, I don't know about Brazil. Anyway, I have not taken my sheet. My bad. Let me try and get it back on. 1 second. Here it is. So yes, I have a sheet complete. with almost all of the almost all the design settings. I haven't done it in a while because I've not had the motivation to come back to this game for a bit, but still, if you'll ask it in the comment section, I will give it to you. I will give the sheet to you, and I will give you a link. So there you go. It's already something you can find anyway, somewhere else on my channel, because I have given a link multiple times. But there we go. Have I talked about the star system? I think I have, but I'll talk about it again. So, nowadays you have, as you can see, stars for every feature in the game, or every, engine feature and gameplay feature. Now, these increase with experience. If you make a good game, you have a almost 100% chance of getting a star for each feature that you have used on the game. If you make a game that is like a 30%, you will have a lower chance of getting a star on that feature. Now, what does a star do for a feature? Well, it does three things. Number one, it gives it more points. Number two, it makes it cheaper. And number three, it also makes it faster. So there are three main points as to why you want stars to be full. At 0 stars, you have a 50% penalty in the speed of a feature. At 1 star, you have a 40%, and so on and so forth. Same for price. As you can see, the full price of a feature here, the first feature, $3,000. If you have 1 star, you reduce that price by 10%, which means that it will be $2,700. 2 stars, $2,400, 3 stars, $2,100, 4 stars, $1,800, so on and so forth. There you go. And same for these. So these will be at $1,000 at the end, I think. Right? I think that's, yes, that's right. 1,000 at the end for both of those. These will be at 1,500. So there we go. Also, one thing to note, normally you will not be able to make a game before month 2 in 1976. Normally, because and I mean, you don't even really want to, because there's a 5th gameplay feature coming in month 2 week 1, which is local high scores. That is the one thing that you have to know about 1976. Local high scores is unlocked at month 2 week 1, and you have to research it. It gives a lot of points, by the way. This is why you would want to get that. And the reason as to why I am working on a game immediately right now is because I have enough people to work on a game. Like 5 guys working on a game at the same time at the beginning here is insane. As you can see, local high scores. There we go. Gameplay features, you go to research it, you get the local high scores. This doesn't change, by the way. This is always the same, and it always comes up in month 2, week 1. Know that everything new that you will ever be able to unlock will come in month, at the start of a month. So month 1 week 1, or month 2 week 1, month 3 week 1, everything like that. You will never get a research oh, actually, except there's an exception, actually, but you will never get a research outside of week 1s, except for the start of a year. At the start of a year, you will not actually get them at month 1 week 1. That's the mistake I made. You will actually get them at month 1, week 2. There's a small difference, but it can be weirded. You can be weirded out by it a little bit. You will see this when you get in 1977, actually, as 2 consoles get unlocked in month 1, week 2. This is the Commander P and the Astro Arcade, I think. So there you go. Also, I hope you like the groovy music. Those are all new, by the way, in the game, which is nice. So yeah, here we go. So the game is almost finished. I did add the gameplay feature that I unlocked, which is local high scores. Yes, you can always go and hit this to go and find out new gameplay features, or change the design priority, you know, these sliders that I haven't explained here, but I think I did it last time. So there you go. If you want that explained, I think you can watch episode 1. These things will get unlocked later. I think this is 1982. I think. I'm not sure about copy protection when you unlock it. Maybe 1980. I don't remember the exact date, but there you go. So now a game is finished. You can go to finish development. Yes, the current rating is 50 to 70%, which means that it will be a 60%. That's normally, if they didn't change that, it's normally still the fact. It's still a fact. However, yes, the game has a lot of bugs. 34 bugs is a good amount of bugs. So be careful. You don't want a game to have over 50 bugs. That's a no-no every time, because you will get a major penalty in your review. Less than 50, you do still get a penalty, but it is less. But still, there we go. Everything got a star, as you could see, and it's a 64%, which means that the game is more than good enough to continue making more. We will go for that another puzzle game. So you can just, if you've already made a puzzle game and that you know that your settings are all good, you can go into this thing here, game concepts. Just click on the game and do copy game concept. You can then change the topic if you want, but right now I don't really care because those are not my games, so they don't generate money for myself every week. So I don't care about them. So there we go. As you can see, 1 star all around here, and the price went down by 10%. The speed will also be upped by 10%, which means that it's much better. As you can see here, 200 less on those, 300 less on those. That's like 2,000 that's 2,000 that you saved. And yes, you do feel it early on, and you feel it even more later on. Alright, we can also research new genres in research. As you can see, there's genre here, there's also topics. In total now they've added up to 303 topics, which is insane. It's a really good number. And yeah, there are all of those miscellaneous things also that I will let you see later on down the line with other episodes maybe. Still, let's go and take skill game as a genre for the second genre that I unlock. Why skill game? Now skill game, the reason why I'm taking it is because it's probably the easiest one to make. Skill games are very easy to make, and also gameplay features have a bonus for them, which is always nice. This game is another one that I'm giving away immediately, 68%. See, if I waited, I could have actually gotten a good amount, actually. I could have gotten 70 plus, probably. It doesn't matter. We could develop our own game, but I don't have a good genre, a good topic to go with the genre. I don't think movies works with puzzle game. So right now, I'm going to wait for skill game to be taken. I'm going to also maybe, hopefully, get another researcher. That would be nice. But since that now we have a little short assignment, we're going to do that. That's going to give us the money that we need for a little bit of time. And now let's research the topic. What is that music, by the way? Very funky. Alright. Let's go for fruit. I know that it works with both. Actually, I don't know if fruit works with puzzle. I know that food works with puzzle. But I don't know about fruit. Maybe it does. I don't know. So this one gives you the most money here. As you can see, it's still 12,000 plus 32, which means that you get... Well, that's 44.7. There you go. So the scale game, we haven't done it before. I'm going to go for a hospital. That's fine. It's not something that I will care about here. These games, they're not mine. As you can see, though, they're selling. 6,000 here. 2,800 here. They're selling. Still, save money by doing this. And 5285 that I did remember. And the rest is, I think, 2387? It is right. Yeah, muscle memory is doing a lot of work here. 40, 10, 10, 40. These things, you will normally keep them in mind. And here we go. You can see that in a scale game, you have those green little dots here at the top left corner. These mean that you have extra points given to these because of these features. You know, all of these are going to give you more points than they normally do if they were yellowed. That means, yeah, good stuff. More points means a better rating. So there you go. Do we have a researcher? We do, but that's 5k. That's the high price. Alright, and whenever we'll get fruit here going, we will do an own game. Now, bear in mind, there are other things that also have stars. For example, also we're going to get to 50, so I'm going to have to wait until this goes under 50 bugs before I release it. You just wait out, and bugs are going to get fixed by itself. But yeah, bear in mind, there are other things that have stars. You also have the genre and the topics that have stars. These mean more experience, these mean better points, and these mean a better rating. I don't know if they have an effect on points, but they do have an effect on the rating, for sure. A no stars skill game will always be worse than a 5-star skill game, because you will have the experience for it and everything. There you go. 68% for that one. There we go. And now, since we have the topic unlocked, and this is a 1-star now, which means that it has a little bit of experience, we can work on a skill game for us, basically. Okay. Now, what are we calling it? There we go. Yep, I have a lot of imagination when it comes to my naming. Alright, also, if you don't want to use a topic and a target group for a game, you can just use copy design settings, and it will just change all of these settings without using these at the top here. And that's what I have done here. And we're going with the Tapo 1, which has a much higher, as you can see, it has a much higher market share. Actually, well, yeah, okay. The market share is the same, as you can see. But there's a reason for that. It's because this is the market share for consoles. And this is the market share for PCs, for computers. And in reality, the Apple One never sold 3 million units, let's be honest. It sold, I think, like 40,000 max. The Apple II was closer to that number at the end, I think. But yeah, it never sold that much. And why would you also want to get all of the languages in a game? It's because more languages means a better coverage and more people that will be able to buy your game. So it's basically get one language out of the, I think, 11, and you will have like 9% of the sales, of the total sales available, I think. Of the potential total sales. If you get all the languages, you can get 100%. There we go. As you can see here, all of this is set up. We can just enable the disable all appropriate features and get all of these guys going. And 3 stars, 10 in points for both of those. This guy gives you 16 and 4. Yep, good amount of points. And same for these guys now. These are at 26. Their max is 30. Their minimum is supposed to be 20. So, yep. All the points are increased. By the way, I don't touch these sliders because I think it's dumb to touch these. I don't know. I guess if you are in a really bad way financially, you could use that, but I'm okay right now. We still have a good amount of money. Alright, looking for a better researcher. And then last one. We didn't get that, unfortunately. Maybe this week. Nope, hardware and engineering. But there we go. This time we're making a game for ourselves, which means that we will also wait for the bugs to be fixed. Also, I think that better star rating means less bugs. I'm not sure. It's just, I found that out by myself, but I'm not sure that it is actually in the game or not. But you can see, I mean, we were at over 40 bugs whenever we were making a game on no stars. And with 3 stars now on the features, we're at less than 25. So I do think that that's a thing, but I'm not sure. So don't quote me out on that. I'm taking that girl. There we go, putting her in here. Alright, and now there are 2. Let's work on another genre, by the way, because we can do that. Good, well, I was about to say good programmer, but 34 points, not that good. Waiting for the next few bugs and number of visitors in your booth. As you can see, well, the Mad Games Convention is interesting. So, it's going to give you a very massive boost early on. It's going to give you a very massive boost in your fans, in the fan number, which is cool. Only if you get the large booth, because to be honest, a small booth, not going to be that good. The price, though, at the beginning, as you can see, the difference is so little that you can always go for the large booth. However, know that you will not be able to do a Mad Games Convention if you are not at least making an own game. A game for yourself, not a contracted game. A game for yourself. So, Mad Games Convention always happens on month 7, week 1. Make sure to have a game before then, if you really want to work on the Mad Games Convention. And that bonus of 1,600 fans, I think it's pretty worth it. There you go. Also, it gives a little bit of hype for the game, knowing that every hype point means more sales for the game. So, there are a lot of bonuses that you can have to get a better game, and more sales on your game. But here we go. This is now a 70%, 115 points in gameplay, 102 points in technology, which are good numbers for this early on. Let's go. Search a publisher. And as you can see, we have a few publishers. The better your rating of the game, the more publishers are gonna want to get your game. That's something also that's quite interesting. I like that. If you get an 85%, you will basically have everyone that wants to publish your game. That be counting Nintendo, all of the big ones like Sega and I don't know, like Capcom, all those kinds of stuff. And now, as you can see, the best market strength we get is a 4-star, which means it's 80%. And the payment is $10, knowing that they actually upped that number, since before, a 4-star was supposed to give you $6. They upped it to $10. A 1-star was supposed to give you only $10, and now it's 13, as you can see, which is quite cool. It makes the game a little bit easier when it comes to Legendary as well. Alright, let's go with the 10. And as you can see, I got an achievement for creating a skill game with a rating of at least 70%. And there we go, 73% for that game. And the good thing about skill game as well is because of the priority for the game, for making the game, the design priority. The design priority for a skill game is 40% on gameplay, 10% on graphics, 10% on music and sound, and 40% on controls. Knowing that at the beginning of the game, you will only have gameplay and controls. So, this is a perfect fit. There are two that are perfect fits at the beginning of the game, and it's skill game and puzzle game. Because you do not have a graphics studio, because you do not have a sound studio, gameplay and control points are always pretty easy to get. So there we go. This is why this is a 73%. If I actually made this on like a racing game, I'd have 50 or less. So yeah, there we go. Since I got a 70%, I am able to unlock the sequels. There you go. If I get this game to 50,000 sales, I will also be able to unlock the spin-off. I think that's right. Yep, that's right. 50,000. Alright, our money is getting a bit low, isn't it? So how about we make a contracted game? I'll do this one. Also, this guy has actually a good fit with fantasy. Fantasy adventure is a very good fit. So there we go. This is also on the Apple One. As you can see, it also has, you know, an impact for the platform as well, the stars. It tells you what it does. Impact on graphics, sound, and technology. So there you go. It has an impact on everything, basically. Alright. Adventure is 215110975. And this is 557. And this is the same as RPG, which is my best genre, so I know that this is 40, 30, 15, 15. So, as you can see, for an adventure game, you have some red dots. Red dots are things that don't work well with a genre. Gameplay features that don't work well with genre. You can still choose to get them in. And the thing is, they won't give you many points. As you can see, for finishing this feature, I will only get 1 gameplay point. And I am spending a lot of time on that feature. And same thing for pause function. As you can see, it gives you 1 and 1 in gameplay and technology, and that's it. But why am I getting them on? It's because I want their star rating to increase, because that still doesn't have an impact on it. So, there we go. I will add them just to get a 5-star rating on all of my features. Before then, not getting them on, because it's not useful. So, you can see that in my first week, Fruit Ninja actually made 1,000. In the second week, the game made 2,000, well, 1,600 on the second week. The peak of sales for a game is normally the third week. And then it will slowly go back down and normalize for about 10 weeks. You will see what happens. 40-60, that's more than enough. Know that for a contracted game, as a B game, you will never get more than 20% asked of you for a B game. So there you go. I'll do that one for 50k, by the way. And look at that, the third week is going to give me slightly more normally. There we go, 2,336. Now, why did it give me so much more? It's because the publisher actually made a marketing campaign and gave me a bit of hype for the game, which means that I got a lot more sales for that. There we go. There are a lot of small details as well in the game that I'm not talking about here, but you will find them out yourself. It's not that bad. And there we go. Fourth week, it's slightly starting to dip, and there we go, dipping again. And normally it will normalize at about, I don't know, 1,400 or 500. Knowing that its hype is full, though, so that's quite interesting. Alright, another B game. That is a puzzle, so we'll do it from here. There we go. Perfect. All of those are good. And see, now I don't have to use all of them. I can actually reduce it by just using these two. Or maybe, yeah, just using these two. I don't need to put many features because I know that I will get the minimum rating bonus payment. Good. It'll be done. And this actually saves me a good amount of money. As you can see now, this only cost me 20k. 21k. So, it's very low. Let me tell you, this is very low. 21k is a very, very low number. And you see that the game Fruit Ninja is giving me a very nice amount of sales and money. I'm now at 34,000 in profit. It gave me a turnover of $107,760. Turnover is full profit of the game from its, well, from the fact that I was negative on the game when I release it. So yeah, I actually got 34,000 extra from the cost of development on the game. It's the same here, you know, development cost 30,000, total salary for the game 42,000. There you go. So I get money for making a job well done. Alright, I think I explained basically everything correctly here for the first year. Next time, I think that we will actually... Yes, I think we'll look into 1979. Between 1978 and 1979, because this is a very important time when you will have to look at B+ contracted games. However, that's only really relevant if you're making a game on Legendary or very hard. If you're making a game on any difficulty lower than that, play the game normally. Just make games for yourself. Once you've reached like 3 stars on a genre, you can make games for yourself over and over again. However, if you're playing in hard, I will just advise you of something. Do not do a combo like skill game, puzzle game, skill game. So make some diversity in the genres that you use for your games. Because if you are in hard, very hard, or legendary, there is an extra effect that your fans could have, which is bored, which will reduce your sales by 50%. So be very wary of that, because it is the worst thing that can happen to you. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to, I don't know, leave a like. And yeah. I'll see you all for the next episode. Take care.